with a breaking news alert.
We continue to follow breaking news, and we want to warn you this story is graphic. The bodies of two young girls found buried in suitcases near Ginn Academy.
Cleveland police have identified and detained a person of interest after making a horrific and disturbing discovery. Two young girls identified as half-sisters found buried in suitcases. Police have not released the name of the person they brought in for questioning, but records show that 28-year-old Aaliyah Henderson was booked into the Cuyahoga County Jail tonight for murder and child endangering. Neighbors telling 19 News she lived at the home where police detained someone earlier this evening.
We are talking in the city of Cleveland on the east side, just so that if you're familiar with the area, that you might be able to just see where we're talking. You can see I-90 on the east side, and we are focusing in on where that red bullet point is. It is the intersection of Midland Avenue and East 162nd. You can see it's just a half a block away from Ginn Academy, and it's really this wooded area that you see on the back of this, what they call Saranac Playground. You see the trees before those what look like semi-trailers. That's the area that these two suitcases and the two young girls' bodies were found. Let's fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, police are back out at that scene after really opening that area up. And I want to make sure we've got the right video here. They go back out to the area to search a home that they develop information on, and they get a search warrant for a house in this area. You can see more of those trailer boxes in the back there. And they start to do more investigating. They go back to a home in the 700 block of East 162nd Street. And according to the police, within less than 48 hours, detectives detained a person of interest and recovered substantial evidence related to the case while they are searching that home on East 162nd. They also find a child inside that home who they say appeared to be in good health. Now, from that, we do know that according to police and their release, that one person was taken into custody. A 28-year-old female was arrested, and she is expected to be charged later today. That's where we want to sort of stop with the information given us today from police. What we also know through working this story is that, police have yet to put a name to the 28-year-old arrested. They at least don't put that name in this press release. But what we know is that a 28-year-old woman was arrested yesterday evening, and she was arrested on charges of murder and child endangering. That was the arrest charges and why she was arrested. Now, you at home may want to put two and two together. We can't do that as of yet. All we can do is give you the details of the two bodies that were found, the home that was searched, and that a 28-year-old was arrested in that home. We can also tell you that we know in the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County from the Sheriff's Department that this woman was arrested yesterday, Aaliyah Henderson. She is 28 years old and arrested and expecting charges for murder and child endangering. We are trying to tread lightly here. We are just giving you what we know, that this woman here has been arrested, Aaliyah Henderson, and she has been arrested and is expected to be charged for murder and child endangering. But that's kind of where we have to stop. And again, you at home may be wanting to put two and two together, but we are just sort of pumping the brakes just a little bit. Now, we do know that according to the press release, when we start talking about that house on East 162nd. Police are telling us that that is a 28-year-old woman and that she is expected to be charged later today. Now, will we be able to finally connect the dots later today? Very possible. Are we about to get a second 28-year-old woman that is being charged in connection to this case? We will just have to wait and see. More than likely not. But we are just proceeding with caution here, giving you the basics, giving you what we have been told by investigators, because this case is so serious and because so many people are wondering, how does this happen? How does a girl that they believe was 8.5 years old, how does a girl that was 14 years old end up in a suitcase and end up partially buried or buried in a shallow grave very near a school on the east side? So that's where we are at. I do want to read a quote given to us today from Police Chief Dorothy Todd. She says in the press release, there were 2 young lives with their entire futures ahead of them. Our detectives worked tirelessly and with great care to identify those responsible. She goes on to say, investigations of this nature require patience, precision, and discretion. Unlike what is often portrayed on television, every detail cannot be shared publicly. Certain information must remain confidential to protect the integrity and of the investigation and ensure justice for these victims. Chief Todd goes on to say that careful and methodical work allowed our detectives to develop evidence needed to make quick identification of a person of interest, ultimately resulting in an arrest. So that's where we stand. Because we are in between news times, newscasts on Channel 19, wanted to make sure we got you the very latest now that the police have put out a new press release. Really the newest piece of information we got in the last 20 minutes is that when they searched that home on East 162nd, a third person or another child was found in that home, and that child appeared to be healthy. That child has now been placed in the custody of Children and Family Services. So we're going to wait as more information unfolds. Look for push alerts. Look for our 11 o'clock news on Cleveland 43, our new news on Channel 19, and then, of course, 3.5 hours of news and first alert weather on Channel 19 starting at 3 o'clock. But again, if the person that was arrested yesterday, if the charges come down that the police are talking about in their most recent press release, if those come down, we will come back to you live with breaking news here on our digital platforms. Until then.
Harry Boomer spoke with people who live in that neighborhood where the discovery was made, including, Harry, I understand, one of the people who made that discovery.
Standing right next to the shallow graves where the young girls' bodies were found. It's eerie that someone would dump them like trash. Cleveland police say apparently their bodies were here for some time. These 2 shallow graves mark the spots where 2 young girls were found Monday evening by a man walking his dog.
The only reason, brother, that I opened the door is because it was you.
I appreciate that. I spoke with the man through his security door who found the partially buried bodies. He didn't want to go on camera, and he didn't say much about the gruesome discovery. He was so traumatized, he really didn't want to talk about the experience.
I mean, you seem pretty shook about what you
Well, wouldn't
found.
you be?
Yeah. I mean,
Across the street from where you live?
Cheryl Young has lived in her home since 1999. The bodies were found across the street behind Ginn Academy, a straight line of sight from her front porch.
What do you think about what was found over there? Shocked? Scared?
Yes. A little frightening. It just makes me wonder what happened, you know, and how did that come about?
Cleveland police say the bodies of the 2 teen girls between the ages of 8 and 14 were discovered in separate suitcases, partially buried in these shallow graves by a nearby resident who was walking his dog. The dog hid on one of the suitcases. Police found the second one after they responded to a 911 call.